Separation is an illusion. Everything is connected. So I wrote this a while ago. Ch3ck said, not power. This is physical and mental. So I put PM as an acronym just to, solidify it into my memory bank. I remember acronyms a lot better. So I call them simple, incredible reminders. Acronym for SIR. And I was taking foster parenting class, and the teacher said that the majority of the kids had physical, emotional trauma. And again, how my brain works, I just immediately oh, that's PETS. PET meaning PET, and then the simple, incredible reminder is an acronym. So anytime I want to make an acronym plural, I just put SIR on it. And my homie was like, that doesn't make sense. And I was like, okay, so here we are now. I put, everybody has physical and emotional trauma and secrets, meaning everybody have pets, meaning animals, to deal with their physical, emotional trauma and secrets. I think that's kind of why the animals be leaving the earth faster than the humans, because they be taking on all of their energy. But separation, illusion, everything's connected. This is something that I saw in 2017. As you can see, this is Big Think. Shout out Derek, because ever since this, like I said, I've been standing on this, but we need to develop character instead of celebrity. Back in my previous video, I told you about how Martin Luther King said he had a dream that his children would be able to live in a country where they were judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And in 2017, everybody was just talking about Black Lives Matter. I'm black. Like I said, it took over the press up until 2020, COVID. In The Road to Character, David Brooks argues that moral vocabulary is severely lacking. September 6, 2017. I think I shared this on my Twitter page in September 7th. So, a Muslim man prays at Baitful Mosque in February 18, 2011 in London, England. Around 5,000 Muslim men converged at the mosque today, which is Western Europe's largest, to unite against extremism and pay visual following a something. I don't know what this says. A patent attorney is a respectable job. Calvin doesn't really acknowledge this. He sees his father as an alien or something other than human, choosing to spend his time with a pontificating stuffed tiger. Calvin hates chores and other adult ventures, becoming especially irked when his straight-laced attorney father repeats his famous mantra, because it builds character. 6-year-olds don't want to talk about character. They prefer, at least in Calvin's case, discuss dinosaurs and claim girls are gross. This is to be expected at such a young age. Sadly, though, this mindset is lasting longer and longer, with many adults having no need of character either. This is a cultural phenomenon. Celebrity has surpassed character. In 1976, the goal of being famous ranked 15 out of 16 categories among young people. A 2007 new research poll discovered that 51% of youth rank fame as a top goal, with the majority stating that getting rich is the main motivation of people their age. This drive is not limited to the young. Our language reflects this. For most of history, you'd want to avoid anything going viral. Today, we've adopted this disease in a way that would make Susan Sontag's head spin. Susan was skeptical of the supposedly liberating nomenclature cropping up around cancer words. We should give equal pause to clickbait, candy draining our attentional resources, the currency of celebrity. We should give equal pause to clickbait, candy draining our attentional resources, the currency of celebrity. Social media has many benefits, but occupational description is not one of them. The term public figure is used by people who do little more than post pictures of themselves every day. Susan knew that cancer is not a battle to be waged, but a disease in need of treatment. Public figures had become another disease requiring a cure. Language is our major form of communication. How we use it shapes our identities. We understand our societal and familiar roles through the language we use. According to David Brooks, there are words we need to reinvigorate. They all have to do with better understanding our moral codes. By banishing words such as sin, virtue, character, and evil from general conversations, he claims that does not make life any less moral. In the road to character, he continues, it just means we have obscured the inescapable moral core of life with a shallow language. In this frantic biography of important historical figures, Brooks repeatedly returns to the need of cultivating humility to overturn the sins of arrogance and pride. Children are being educated to succeed, but the focus of that success is monetary and status-driven. It has nothing to do with singular trait Calvin's father kept returning to during his decade-long life of Calvin and Hobbes. Brooks borrows the concept of Adam 1 and Adam 2 from a 1965 book by Rabbi Joseph. To build his argument, Adam 1 is a career-oriented and ambitious. He wants money, status, and more than anything, to win. Adam 2 is our GPS. Through right and wrong, he sacrifices himself for the good of others and lives for the cultivation of character. By becoming a morally sound person, he is able to be in service of those around him. It's obvious which Adam is winning in the modern America, the nation in which we recently were told we're going to win so much we'll grow tired of winning, as Brooks put it. We live in a culture that teaches us to promote and advertise ourselves and to master the skills required for success, but that gives us little encouragement to humility, sympathy, and honest self-confrontation, which are necessary for building character. Teachers, he continued, look for signs of intellectual strength to help students cultivate them. This is vastly different from schools a century ago, when moral weakness were spotted so the students could improve upon them. We imagine such a time as stifling and domineering, though Brooks reminds us that liberation and perhaps more importantly, contentment are found when our weaknesses are strengthened. The pursuit of pleasure, the Buddha taught so long ago, can only lead to suffering, or in Buddhist lingo, unsatisfactoriness. The quick dopamine rush of 100 likes prohibits us from pursuing the patient goals that arrives with meditation, contemplation, and intense inner speculation. Journalist Nicholas Carr compares this to filling a bathtub with a thimble. The small drops of dopamine never quenching the ocean ahead. Neuroscientist Dan Levitin calls the dings and buzzes of social media alerts sugar-coated, nutritionally useless fodder, leading to an avoidable disease. If you listen to the endless stream of self-help gurus promoting positive psychology as the ultimate means of creating the best life imaginable, you think we'd be chilling in Eden. But as journalist Steve Salerno writes, the self-help guru has a compelling interest in not helping people, or as Brooks put it, the existence of more and more self-help books is proof that they rarely work. That's because the goals of these books usually include money, happiness, and self-righteousness, associated with the notion that your inner voice is the only one you need to listen to. In the wake of decades such advice, we become a nation addicted to pain-killing medication, to worshiping the cult of celebrity, to scrolling across a screen as actual life passes right in front of our eyes, unnoticed. That's because what we truly need is each other. Character is not a solo affair. Our morals are defined by how we act in society. We should not be turning to an ambitious inner voice seeking guidance, but rather look out into our community to discover what we are being asked to do, where and how we can make a difference. Celebrity is not character, but a crisis of character. The need for constant attention is occurring at a time when our attentional economy is already severely taxed. Few desire to write epic novels when a witty tweets are so readily shared and forgotten, which is why the chase for celebrity will never be anything more than a ravenous beast, a hungry ghost, never sated. I see dead people. Modernity has not made us depraved barbarians, Brooks concludes, yet it has greatly weakened our moral vocabulary. We might gaze back at prior educational system in Crudius that the focus was on obedience, but such a system has not disappeared. It has just been transformed into the semi-hidden world of approval and disapproval. We can rise above this, though we may have to gaze beyond our desires to find what life is asking us. Character is earned, Brooks concludes, not by being better than other people at something, but by being better than you used to be. Such humility leads to maturity, the final component of a life well lived. The mature person can make decisions without relying on negative and positive reactions and admirers and detractors, because the mature person has steady criteria to determine what is right. The person has said a multitude of no's for the sake of a few overwhelming yeses. And like I said, this is an article from Big Think, and the whole time they was talking about how people value celebrity over character, and this is something that was written in 2017. So like I said, ain't nobody gonna change my thoughts. They're already there, and I'm standing on this, that people are still in this boat. So check this out. This is my Check This Out series. Separation Illusion, High Power.